And we're back. Hi, my name's Charles, and a while back I decided it might be fun to go back to the beginning of Honkai Star Rail and play all the story again. And we're currently kind of late in the Xianzhou Luofu arc. We've done the main quests, we've done a lot of the side quests, and we really only have like 2 of the major side quests to go. The main major side quest we have to go is the Jingyu Companion quest, which ties a bow around the High Cloud Quintet story. But before we get to that, we have one more, maybe not quite so consequential to the main story, but still quite sweet side quest, where we go and see what's been up with Yukong. And if you're wondering why I am black and white today, it's because I'm an idiot. And I went out today and I spent way too long in the sun, and my face is now bright red. So I am saving everybody the terror of seeing a very red-faced me. But anyway, let us continue forward and see where we can go with this Yukong quest. Cullfish, you don't happen to be at Stargazer Navalia right now, are you? Yes, I'm in Stargazer Navalia. Yep, just happen to be handling some stuff here. That's great. I saw on Cycrane system that you are nearby. There's an important task I need your help with. It's really urgent. The Exalting Sanctum Skydome malfunctioned half a dual hour ago. It was probably caused by the unusual yin-yang phenomena from the Ambrosial Arbor. Oh, wall of text. These people text so quickly. Caused from the Ambrosial Arbor's new growth. The technical details are complicated, so I won't elaborate. In short, one district has a serious problem, and it's about to explode. The entire Luofu has yet to fully recover from all the chaos, and there's no one available to handle this emergency. Fortunately, there is an office worker in the Skyfaring Commission who jumped on a starskiff and flew to the Skydome to carry out an emergency fix. But that starskiff also broke down during the rescue, probably due to the yin-yang phenomenon again, and lost contact over Stargazer Navalia. It may have been forced to land, or even crashed. I've already informed the Cloud Knights to send reinforcements ASAP, but 1 second can mean the difference between life and death for this kind of thing. Can you folks please go have a look first? Where's the crash site? I'm still trying to find out. Your friend, Mr. Yang, is also nearby. I've already contacted him. Anyways, try to find a vantage point in Stargazer Navalia and use a Cycrane to locate the starskiff. I'm counting on you folks. Also, this office worker is a bit special. I implore you both to do everything in your power to save her life. And there we have picked up Vita Infinita, for I have touched the sky. So you've got to go and find where Welt is. He's around here somewhere. There he is. He's just looking out over the balcony. Oh, I've got... Yeah, I should probably change. I've got Remembrance MC for nefarious reasons, but I haven't quite finished building him yet, so I'm just going to switch back to the comfortable Preservation MC until I finish that. So I did the Amphoria story off stream because, you know, I've already done it on my main account. I'm not going to redo it on this account, and unlocking the Remembrance MC just gives me a few more options to build teams in the future which has the main character on them, but maybe don't suck quite as much as the ones I'd have to build if I kept using the Preservation MC. But anyway, let's talk to Welt and see what he has to say.
Looks like there's smoke rising in the distance. Miss Chi-Kuei sent us a Cycrane. See if you can get an aerial visual. This is an emergency. We need to find where the starskiff crashed as soon as possible.
Okay. So I think we have done this before on a different quest. This is not a first, but we've got to go down here, and here is the crashed star skiff.
We found it. Looks like the pilot isn't inside. If they escaped before it came down, they should still be nearby.
Well, that's kind of suspicious looking. We have these dogs checking that out. So what have we got? Ah, there she is, hiding behind the tree.
There. That must be who Miss Shikui asked us to save. We need to hurry. Those abominations have trapped her. Be careful.
I'll be careful, but you're coming with me. You're in my team and everything. So you've got to get down... Where are we got to go? I'm confused as to where I'm going. Okay, so where am I actually going? I need to get to here. Okay, so I can just keep going up here and just follow this around. I'm going to kill things on the way because I need materials, but you don't necessarily have to watch me do it. One of the ongoing problems with building way too many characters is that I keep running out of the simple mats that you get from killing mobs. So it's kind of necessary for me whenever I have the opportunity to get into these really dumb fights.
Gotta try hard stuff.
But again, you don't have to watch them all with me.
You're annoying.
Also, yes, I have got March's new outfit. I know there's absolutely zero chance of this happening, but it would be really nice if in the promised move to buff old characters, they made Welt slightly less sucky. And you know, obviously the chance of them improving a standard character is basically zero. But it would be so nice if they made Welt actually useful. And I'm not just saying this because I have an E6 Welt on my other account. Actually, I am just saying this because I have an E6 Welt on my other account. I want to be repaid for the pain and torment I got from every time I lost a 50-50 and ended up with Welt.
No. Reach the end of the story in your own way.
See, I was going to skip that entire fight, and then it was like, no, I'm just going to talk through it and leave myself with nothing to talk about for the actual, like, traversing the map bits that I'm not going to skip. It just goes to show how badly I plan these episodes. But, oh, see, there's some doggies guarding the spot down there, so that looks like that's where I need to be. Also, I probably need to heal at some point. Like, is there a thing around here? Is there... Oh, okay, I will have a battle with you first, and then I'll probably eat some food. Oh. Okay, I'll need to edit around that, obviously, because...
Hey, get out of here! It's too dangerous! Go get someone from the Skyfaring Commission. Tell them Qing Ni is in trouble.
It's okay, we're pretty tough.
Don't worry, Miss Qing Ni. We've been in worse danger.
Fighting is meaningless. The truth of life in this sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
There are too many monsters. Let's hold out for a little longer. The Cloud Knights should be here soon.
Just Please run! These monsters can't get up here anytime soon.
No can do, Miss Qingni. We're not abandoning you.
We won't leave you here.
You two have held out long enough. Help is at hand.
Well, hello, Yukong.
Cloud Knights, formation! Prepare to engage! Well done, Qingni. We're coming to get you!
Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
After cleansing the area of the abomination, the Cloud Knights rescued the trapped girl.
I didn't know the Helm Master of the Skyfaring Commission dealt with situations like this in person.
Indeed. I should be reviewing files in the Palace of Astrum. However, Qingni decided to put herself in danger and trouble our esteemed guests with her safety. As her mother, I couldn't sit idly by.
Mother?
Qingni, have you thanked your benefactors yet?
Thank you, benefactors.
I'm getting like very absolutely fabulous vibes here of the, you know, the straight-laced daughter and like mum's wearing this and she's like, Mom, you have to go out looking like that, really?
No need, Miss Qingni. It was nothing.
It was all thanks to Madame Yukong's timely appearance.
You flatter me. This is a Skyfaring Commission affair, yet the two of you had to put yourselves in harm's way. I am ashamed. It was because of both of you that Qingni escaped unscathed. Words cannot express my gratitude. In fact, by way of thanks, I'd like to invite you to the Palace of Astrum for tea. It is about time we knew each other better.
The feeling is mutual, Lady Yukong. We would be honored.
Then, for now, I will excuse myself. Qingni's irresponsible actions caused much trouble for the two of you. Allow me to apologize once again on her behalf.
Aw, Mom, stop embarrassing me in public.
You always do this, Mother. Scold me before figuring out what actually happened. It was a dire situation. I was the only one who could...
You promised me, Qingni. We shall discuss this when we return. Please excuse us, benefactors. I look forward to our meeting.
So is benefactors a Foxian thing? You mean a scary mom side?
You have a unique way of putting things. But you're not wrong. Appearances seemingly tell us little about the lives of the Xianzhou's leaders, no matter how long those lives may have been. Yukong's inner worries and concerns came to the surface in the presence of her daughter. Only then was it clear that she, too, is somebody's mother.
I feel like you relate to this a lot, Mr. Yang.
Yes. After all, I know what it's like to worry over a kid's homework and whether their lunch is healthy enough.
Ah, Welt, you are so wholesome.
But there's something I don't understand. Yes, Qingni piloted a star skiff without permission and put herself in danger, but she meant well. Nevertheless, Yukong's reaction suggests that there was something more. Anyway, let's head over to the Palace of Astrum. Best not to keep Yukong waiting.
To the palace!
Let's avoid sudden exclamations like that once we're in the palace. Remember, this is no field trip. We're having tea with the Helm Master of the Skyfaring Commission. We'll need to act with diplomatic decorum. All right, let's head out before it gets late.
Okay, let's make our way back to the Palace of Astrum. I could walk all the way there, go up the lift and stuff, but it's a bit of a trek, so let's just teleport and pretend we did it.
don't you listen to me?
Because it's my life!
Ah, poor Qingni.
You know I have the talent to make it. I can become the Luofu's best pilot, just like you were.
Talent? You'd be dead if it weren't for those two travelers. Do you think stealing a star skiff and taking to the skies is a show of talent? What about being trapped by abominations? Did you at any moment think about what I would feel if something happened to you? Do you know how many people dream of a relaxing desk job at the Skyfaring Commission? You promised me to work responsibly in your post. Not only have you broken the Skyfaring Commission's regulations, you've broken your promise to me.
I don't think anyone dreams of a relaxing desk job. I mean, maybe they dream of the fact that they can have a relaxing desk job to enable them to do other things, but I don't think anyone dreams of a relaxing desk job.
I already told you. I had no choice. I want to help you and the Skyfaring Commission, not sit at my desk dealing with never-ending papers. That job doesn't suit me. I got the highest grade in the fighter pilot test. They all said I was a genius like you. Like mother, like daughter. They were all jealous of me. But no one even knew I had to take the test behind your back. You would never have allowed me to go if I told you about it.
Behind my back? Do you really think you could have walked into the test and sat in the cockpit if I hadn't given my permission behind the scenes? As for genius, don't mention that word to me again. Why do you insist on becoming a pilot? I don't understand.
And I don't understand why you don't understand.
And I don't understand why you don't understand why I don't understand.
Why can anyone in the world become a fighter pilot except the Helmmaster's daughter? Don't you realize how ridiculous that is? You may not want to fly anymore, but don't trap me down here with you.
She was only the Helmmaster's daughter, but she sure knew how to...
Qingni, where are you going?
Awkward.
I'm sorry you had to witness this.
Apologies, Madam Yukong. We should have given you some time.
Mr. Yang, I told you we'd be early.
You're right. An oversight on my part.
On the contrary, I apologize for allowing my own personal matters to encroach on your time.
We don't intend to pry into private business, Helmmaster Yukong. But if there's anything we can help with, please don't hesitate to ask.
Family issues, I'm afraid. You probably heard a thing or two just now. Despite my earnest wish that she continue in her post, Qingni is fixated on becoming a fighter pilot. I may seem overbearing, but the situation she gets herself into sent a shiver up my tail. It's funny, isn't it? I've seen every disaster imaginable, from the abundance axis to a living planet. I thought I'd forgotten what fear was, but when I fought alongside you, I realized there are still things that can terrify me. I'm sorry. Talking about such vexing matters is unbecoming in front of guests. I invited you here to gain a better understanding of the Express, not bore you with these trivialities. Oh, I prepared refreshments for you. Please, you must try this excellent whale tide spring.
Though things didn't get off to a great start, everyone enjoyed this meeting with Yukong.
Please accept these gifts as thanks for saving my daughter. I'd heard that the Nameless had traversed the Starry Sea, but I wasn't prepared for how much I could learn from you.
Well, I'd heard from members of the Skyfaring Commission that you were a top-tier pilot, Madam Yukong, and an ace among the Cloud Knights. Now that I've seen you in action, I know the rumors were true. I hope to witness your flying ability for myself one day. We'll head off now. The Commission must be busy. I look forward to our next meeting, Madam Yukong.
On my flying ability, I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you, Mr. Yang. The sky no longer suits me.
Poor Yukong. And you know, it must be really sad when you have a child and the child just turns out to be NPC.
You two, please, wait! Thank you for saving me, benefactors. And I'm sorry you had to witness all that.
I understand, it's the parent-child relationship.
So you've experienced it yourself, benefactor. That's great. I mean, I'm happy I finally found someone who can understand me. But I've had the hairpin ceremony. I'm an adult now. I have the right to pursue my dreams. Mom still insists on sheltering me under her wing, as if I can't even stay alive without her.
Miss Qingni, these are family matters. I'm not sure it's my place to comment. However, in my personal experience, becoming a parent often means we become obstinate. To erode a rock, one must be patient and persistent, like water. What I mean to say is, instead of trying to prove yourself suddenly, perhaps you could demonstrate your ability to look after yourself methodically, over time. Don't you think, Miss Qingni?
When it comes to family stuff, I leave it to Mr. Yang. Like, I'm literally an orphan with no memory. My mum is Kafka. Not a good place to start.
My mom is actually a reasonable person, but she gets unreasonable as soon as I mention flying. She hid my Starskiff toys, dragged me away from the port when I stayed behind to count ships, forced me to study for ages. I did everything I could to work my way into the Skyfaring Commission. But she used her authority to assign me a desk job. Every time I walk along Starwatcher Avenue and look up at those ships flying freely across the sky, I feel empty inside. Speaking of empty inside, so how were Mom's refreshments? Good?
That was the most awkward segue. Yeah, the aroma was incredible.
I've been so angry today I forgot to eat anything. How about this? My mom thanked you guys with refreshments, so I should do the same. Let me take you around Starskiff Haven. We can try the most authentic snack on the Luofu.
Sounds good to me. I guess this quest was, pre-Aurum Alley? This is where I'm not entirely sure what timing things are. Oh no, it's mung bean soda.
We're here! The thing about the most authentic snack on the Xianzhou Luofu is it's a drink, and it's inside this vending machine.
Wow, the full 5-star treatment.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't have the money for anything fancy.
Oh, I was trying to be nice.
Mung bean soda. 1 can each. This thing has a bit of a unique flavor, but I love it.
Let me try. A nostalgic experience.
Oh! Is there a drink like this where you're from?
No, this reminds me of when I first boarded the Express and forced myself to drink Himiko's coffee, and how my taste buds never fully recovered.
How is it? Bearable?
So, I get the feeling I'm not supposed to enjoy this, but there's no polite answer. There's just obviously lying, being a real dick about it, or being snarky about it. so I'm just gonna go with being slightly snarky.
That bad? Sorry, but I guess not everyone can accept what I like. Just like flying. Well, don't force yourself. Let's go somewhere else. Ooh, I know a really great place in Starskiff Haven to Starskiff watch.
See, I didn't notice it the first time that I did this story, but the actress who plays the daughter actually does a pretty good job. I mean, it's like the slightly hopeful, really wanting to be liked. I mean, she's really good at expressing that.
You know, there are a lot of mung bean soda moments in life. If you don't try, you won't know. Unique experiences are often a product of risky choices.
And Welt's just trying to be dad.
Tell that to my mom. Her #1 life lesson is, you can't turn back once you enter the sky. Pilots are always dancing with death. I know she's right. I know being a fighter pilot is an exhausting and dangerous job. But I still want to fly among the stars. To fight for the Xianzhou Alliance across the vast galaxy.
Why are you so dedicated to that idea, Miss Qingni?
Have you heard of the Foxian birth fate tradition? Soon after a child is born, we surround them with items that represent future destinies. If the child reaches for a jade abacus, then they'll grow up to be a diviner. If they reach for a sword, then they'll grow up to be a famous warrior. And if they reach for a toy starskiff,
They'll grow up to be an air traffic controller. So you reached for the starskiff?
no, not me. My genius mom did. Mom reached for the starskiff and showed a natural talent for flying. General Jing Yuan recruited her to the Cloud Knights as soon as she was old enough. That's how she became a fighter pilot. Later, she achieved miracles. One time, she destroyed 3 beast ships in a hail of Barisan anti-aircraft fire. Like an arrow tearing through a thunderstorm. She also holds the Skyfaring Commission records for speed and enemy vessels destroyed. I'm proud to be Madame Yukong's daughter. I've wanted to become a legend like her for as long as I can remember.
I can imagine. A parent is often a child's first hero, and their image can influence their whole life.
Mother is the name for God on the lips and hearts of all children.
She never told me any of those stories herself. And she hasn't piloted a starskiff since the 3rd Denizens of Abundance War. She doesn't even bring up her military achievements. I used to watch her fly when I was young. Then one time, I stole a starskiff and I tried all kinds of difficult maneuvers. Turns out I was as talented as she was. Not only did I survive the flight, my landing was perfect. I remember feeling so happy when they took me to see my mom. There I was boasting about the flight, expecting her to laugh, pat my head, say, "That's my girl," or something. But boy, I've never seen her so scary. I admit, I deserve to be punished. You can't let a kid get away with stealing a starskiff. But my mom was angry about more than that. She was angry because I viewed her as a role model. Because I had the same talent as her. I don't understand it.
Parents never want their children to be in danger. I think I can understand, Madame Yukong.
But flying is the only thing I want to do. I've already touched the sky. It's Mom's secretary, Miss Siquei. She just sent me a message. Mom lost one of her trinkets in Stargazer Navalia when she came to save me. Miss Siquei suggested I find the trinket and return it to Mom. Said it might help me get back in her good books.
In Stargazer Navalia? Let's go with you and have a look.
Is it really okay to bother you two again?
The goal of the Express crew is to help other people. Our way of saying thanks for the mung bean soda.
Sorry. Please don't mention the mung bean soda again.
This voice actress is doing a really good job of just, like, not an over-the-top performance, just, you know, perfect notes for the character that she's trying to play. Good on her. So let's go and see what we can find here. See, I totally forgot what this quest was about, and I actually geared up Yukong just in case I had to play her, and now I'm feeling kind of dumb about that.
I've no interest in conflict.
Lance ablaze! Lance!
Forward! Time for some hardship.
Gotta try hard. Watch this awesome move. You can't run.
It's time.
Try that again.
Fighting is meaningless.
You know nothing. Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
I've no interest in conflict.
So let's follow this around down here, and we're almost there. Oh, I remember this bit.
The fight with the abominations was pretty chaotic. I think Mom's trinket would have dropped around here.
Do you know what it looks like, Miss Qingni?
Let me think. It should be a little square thing. She's usually got something like that on her.
This is your area of expertise.
Finding little square things? Who do you think I am, Deeting?
Your powers of perception are impressive, that's all. I think you're the right person for the job.
Alright, so let's get in this Psycrane and see what's up. That means shit. So this is here we go. Is that it?
Well, this is too big for a trinket.
What about these spears?
A Devastator glaive? Is this from the battle? There were a lot of Cloud Knights.
A lot of Cloud
This
Knights.
is only a replica. Probably some kind of film prop.
Huh. What about this? Is that a square thing?
A bird cage. Huh. That reminds me. Have you guys heard of the birds that live in the Everhunt Plains? They have beautiful feathers, but you can't domesticate them. They don't live long if you lock them in a cage. Makes sense. Come on, are you kidding? It's a trinket, remember? You think my mom would carry this with her?
Aha, here's a square thing.
It's a beautiful vase, though. What an intricate pattern. Isn't that...
Mom always carries this trinket around with her, but I never realized there was something inside. Is this... the hunt crest?
A lucky charm?
This is what pilots hang in their Starskiff cockpits for good luck.
It must be very close to Helmmaster Yukong's heart. Let's head back, Miss Qingni. I think you should return this trinket in person. This is an opportunity for the two of you to talk.
Not yet. I want to go back later. there's something I hope you two can help me with first.
If you want us to help you persuade your mother, I'm afraid that could be difficult. It's not easy to solve a family dispute as an outsider.
No, you misunderstand. I just want to know what she's thinking. What turned an ace pilot, someone who loved to fly, into someone like her? My mom clearly misses her flying days, otherwise she wouldn't keep this on her person. But she doesn't fly anymore and refuses to let me become a fighter pilot. Why?
Maybe we can ask some people who might know the truth.
Like Jing Yuan?
The General's been busy at the seat of Divine Foresight recently. We might not get to see him right away. Still, it's worth a try. He was the one who promoted Helmmaster Yukong. He probably knows more about her past than anyone.
General Jing Yuan? Are you sure it's okay to go straight to him? Oh, right. You're the General's guests. Even so, this is asking a lot of you.
No problem. If we can get to the bottom of why Helmmaster Yukong no longer flies, we might be able to find out why she doesn't want you to be a fighter pilot. We can't help you too directly, but an indirect conversation like this might give us a clue on how to convince your mother.
Leave it to us.
Yes, leave it to us.
In that case, thank you so much, benefactors. I'll head back to Starskip Haven. I'm not ready to return to the Skyfaring Commission yet.
So this is one of the things I like about role-playing games, like computer role-playing games, that you just have these random side quests that, you know, you're not saving the world. You're not, like, advancing the forces of good or anything. You're just, like, getting involved in a story and, you know, seeing that story through. Like, I used to joke about it playing Ultima games as a kid, where it's like, you know, we were just wandering around being the, you know, the relationship counselors of this world. But it's just a nice little opportunity that these kinds of games have to, just to tell stories, and telling stories is one of the reasons we're here on this planet. Hello. Yanqing, what have you got to say for yourself?
If you come across any rare swords.
Sorry for getting in your way when you were going after Kafka. What are you talking about? Wasn't that just a communication error? You didn't mean it. I don't mind. Kafka used Spirit Whisper to implant suggestions into him. He doesn't remember anymore. Don't mind me just stealing books off your desk, General.
Mr. Yang, and you? What brings you to the seat of Divine Foresight this time?
It's nothing urgent. We were hoping to understand Helmmaster Yukong a little better.
Is she single? Well, we know she's single, but anyway.
Yukong? I heard an office worker from the Skyfaring Commission flew a star skiff to assist in the present crisis, but ran into trouble herself. She was only saved thanks to a couple of travelers. On behalf of the Luofu, you have my thanks once again.
This dude is just on top of everything that happens.
The seat of Divine Foresight heard that Yukong's seldom seen but often feared temper was on display. I believe the two of you were caught between mother and daughter.
We heard that Helmmaster Yukong was an outstanding pilot, but that she refuses to let her daughter embark on the same career.
Yukong herself is best placed to answer such questions. But naturally, you are here because you fear that Helmmaster Yukong would decline to answer. If you wish to dispel Miss Qingni's curiosity, perhaps we can take a small step back from the topic at hand. What do you wish to know about Yukong the pilot?
Qingni's memories.
Did Qingni tell you any of this? It all serves to remind me. A long time ago, a young Foxian girl, charged by the Knights with a high-speed flight violation, was brought before me as punishment. Now, she's the Madam Helmmaster, my equal. If I were to turn back the sands of time and try to convince my past self that the little girl in front of me would one day become a wise and experienced Helmmaster, I would have probably never have believed it. The Yukong of the past was nothing like she is now, spending her days surrounded by documents at her desk. She was a flaming wind. The only one who could ever calm her was her comrade.
Comrade?
Yes. Large fighter starscapes need to be operated in pairs. One pilot takes the helm, the other controls the turrets.
Goose.
The legend of the ace fighter pilot is incomplete without the ace gunner. Yukong's partner was s2e, both at the controls and behind the turret. s2e was like a cold blade, efficient, decisive, unfeeling when she had to be. It's hard to imagine such contrasting personalities working in perfect harmony. As I mentioned, the campaign inflicted heavy losses on the Xianzhou Air Force.
The Divine Arrow Embers.
Oh, this is a divine object from the Rainbow Arbiter? Where did you find this?
Inside a trinket belonging to Yukong.
This object has been stored inside Helmmaster Yukong's personal trinket all along. Miss Qingni lent it to us. She thought it might be a way to find out more about Yukong's past and why she no longer flies.
This object is no ordinary trinket. It has borne witness to blood and tears. I'm sure you're both familiar with the Xianzhou's long galactic hunt. But have you heard of the denizens of Abundance Wars? As the Xianzhou has continued to cleanse the universe of immortal abominations, so too has the Abundance Axis succeeded in breaching our defensive lines. They pushed the Xianzhou to the brink of disaster. 30 years ago, the Xianzhou Yaoqing and Fenghu were besieged by our enemies. Even in the long history of warfare between the Xianzhou Alliance and the denizens of Abundance, that air battle was one of the most tragic. We were greatly outnumbered by the abominations of Abundance. Almost 1 million fighter pilots fought in the bitter battle. Those who survived numbered no more than 100,000.
What is the population of the Xianzhou ships?
Had the Rainbow Arbiter not descended and destroyed the enemy's assault with her sky-shattering Lux Arrow, who's to say whether the Luofu would still be here today?
Because 1 million is a lot of people.
Such divine objects were forged from the embers that the Arbiter's divine arrow left behind. For the survivors, these relics contain the blood of their comrades, the ashes of their enemies, and the dust of their memories.
So that's only 30 years ago. So the Rainbow Arbiter has been firing arrows pretty recently.
Yukong is a survivor of that war. Her best friend, s2e, perished on the battlefield.
I don't have any other questions. Thank you, General.
I do not wish to speculate on the reason behind Helm Master Yukong's reluctance to fly, nor do I want to open up old wounds. However, it is difficult to discard one's past. Yukong and s2e trusted each other with their lives. The Helm Master will have strong memories of that time. Perhaps it is not my place to say, but I believe Qingni has the right to know about the past, as the past is starting to affect her future.
Thank you, General.
Thank you, General. We apologize for taking up your time with such triviality.
Mr. Yang, you jest. How can harmony between parent and child constitute a triviality? If you ask me, the mountains of documents and the seat of divine foresight are the only triviality around here.
We'll take our leave. Let's go. We should head to Starskiff Haven and find Qingni.
So let's find Qingni and see what she has to say about this. Okay, I've messed that up slightly. Here we go. Cullfish, did you learn anything from General Jingyuan? Shikui said Mum's busy, so I'm headed back to the Skyfaring Commission. He mentioned a s2e. Jingyuan did mention someone named s2e and said you were very close to her. I actually guessed there would be some connection. It's hard to explain over text. Let's meet up. See you in a bit. Has Shikui got to say anything about this?
All prepped. Gotta triple check when the meeting is scheduled.
No, she doesn't have anything specific to say about this quest.
Ah, you're here! My mom isn't in a great mood. She went for a walk.
She skipped work?
My mom isn't the irresponsible type. She only skips work if she's managed to delegate everything.
You two are very similar.
Well, we do both like to take a walk after a fight. The only difference is that I come to this side of Starskiff Haven and she heads to the other. That way, we don't bump into each other.
It's actually kind of cute.
Really? I think it's silly. Anyway, did you find anything out from General Jingyuan?
You relay the information provided by Jingyuan to Qingni.
Did Helmmaster Yukong never bring this up with you?
It's weird to talk to somebody and talk about their mum by their full title. Like you'd say, did your mother never bring this up with you? It's like, that's a little bit weird.
I was always curious about her past, but she either dodged my questions or pretended not to hear them. In the end, I realized she probably experienced something that left a scar that never fully healed. I never asked her again.
She was afraid of you ending up like her friend.
Indeed. That's probably why Yukong was never willing to fly again after the battle, and why she forbids you from flying.
So she doesn't want me to fly because she remembers the pain of losing her friend. And she thinks that my talent makes it more likely that she'll lose me in the same way?
I can't guarantee that's what she's thinking, Miss Qingni. You should talk with her yourself.
You're right, Mr. Yang. But I still have something else to check first. This pass that General Jing Yuan mentioned is probably archived in the Palace of Astrum. I remember watching her handle a document with great care before she filed it away. It looked like a diary.
Do you still remember where it was filed, Miss Qingni?
Vaguely. But there are so many files stored in the Skyfaring Commission. Could I ask you benefactors to look for it with me?
A couple of Outworlders going through Skyfaring Commission files isn't a good look. I'm afraid we can only accompany you, Miss Qingni. You'll need to do the searching yourself.
Of course. You're right. Sorry.
Okay, so nothing wrong here. Well, quick. So over here. So there's 12. I know, I'm where D. Okay, so there's some random terminals I need to click on.
I love work. I love overtime. I love work. I love overtime. I love work. I love overtime. I love...
Let's leave her alone.
Awkward. The calculation device is running a voyage simulation. It shows that it needs 2 more dual hours to simulate the voyage from the Luofu to the floating city of Cordelia.
It seems like this device is handling some important procedures. Let's leave it alone.
Let's just poke it and make it do strange things. Hey dude, I'm just gonna hit your terminal for a while.
Can I help you? I know what it looks like, but I'm using Celestial Jade to improve the algorithm. I'm working, I swear.
Sorry. We'll get going.
Caught the dude playing solitaire on his work PC?
We can use this one. Okay. Let me see. Helm Masters, Personal Archive. Oh, I got it! Let's go take a look.
Ding. Okay, so there's an archive over here.
It should be here. Let's see. Yes! This is Mom's diary!
Miss Qingni, I don't think the two of us should be reading your mother's diary.
I don't think you should be reading your mother's diary. You can probably find out things you really did not want to know about her.
It should be fine. This is from decades ago. For you travelers, that's more than half a lifespan.
No, I still think I shouldn't read it. You stay here with Miss Qingni. I'll be waiting over there.
Good on you, Welt.
Fine. Is it really that big of a deal? I'm sure they're just her notes on life as a pilot.
What if she was having like this enormous affair with somebody else and like the entire diary is intimate details of that affair? Mr. Yang has rules for these things.
I understand. I can tell Mr. Yang is a principled person. There are some lines he won't cross. Let's read it together. Maybe her diary holds the key to all of this.
This is so dodgy. Sayi, we're going to be partners. We've known each other for so long, but when we first knew each other racing star skiffs illegally in the city, we were rivals. Now that we're asked to work together and have each other's back, I'm really not used to it. Naturally, I'm not used to having to look after someone who lost against me, but an order's an order. I really look forward to flying with you. I don't know when we would receive a combat mission. I don't know what you think about our situation, but I think we both have considerable skills, and having to sit still and not fight enemies in the front lines, it's stifling. Those denizens of abundance often raid the border, and occasionally there are reports of them harming innocent planets. Every time I hear these news, I feel an overwhelming sense of anger. But now, things are different. After a while, we'll be able to show them what we're made of on our fighter jets. Honestly though, I'm pretty satisfied with my life right now. After all, just between you and me, what I really wanted was never the righteous cause of ridding demonic activities. What attracts me is just the act of flying itself. Look, Flying out in the universe outside of the Delves is entirely different from racing starskiffs that we're so used to. There's nothing to anchor us in space. There's not even a distinction between up and down. Our fighter jets would be hung in space by their lonesome selves, like ships sailing in the middle of the ocean. By then, there is no one else you can rely on but your own skills and your jet. Some may call this feeling lonely, but I prefer to call it freedom. To me, to fly in space is already good enough, and if I can share this sweet freedom with you, then that's even better. s2e, I don't know what to say to console you. You're always like this. No matter what terrible things happen to you, you would act strong, as if you don't need anyone to care for you, and you have terrible timing for jokes. But we have been together for over 100 years, and I think we understand each other very well. You once said that if something is unpleasant for me, it would also be uncomfortable for you. I actually feel the same way too. Right now, my heart feels like it's being gouged out with a blunt, rusted knife. I can't imagine the amount of hurt and pain you're going through. It's funny, I've never shown Guangyan my good side. Every time you leave me alone to go on a mission with him, I feel uncomfortable. Especially when I see you two flirting and getting along as if you're inseparable. I can't help but want to glare at him with disdain, but Guangyan is a good person. No matter how rude I was to him, he was always kind to me. Thinking back on it now, I realize I'm just really bad at appreciating people. He's really amazing. He managed to hold off several dozen enemy ships with only 2 people. This isn't something that can be done with just courage and resolve. It also requires exceptional skills and extraordinary talent. I can imagine what it was like in his final moments. How his annoyingly handsome face must have shown such determination and focus. I guess that's why you fell in love with him in the first place. I can imagine how proud he must have felt in that moment. He must have had no fear or hopelessness, only pride. So, you shouldn't be sad. You should be proud of him. We all should. s2e, I've been having a lot of negative emotions recently that I cannot express to other fighters on the front line. Since you're recuperating in the rear, I'll just dump them on you. Although it seems I'm a bit slow to say such words now, it was only recently that I realized that I'm actually in the midst of such a cruel war. Space combat is different from ground combat. Although both involve life and death in an instant, it is rare to see severed limbs and broken bodies in space, which led me to misjudge the brutality of this war. It wasn't until recently, as the situation on the front lines worsened, that the bloody reality gently but indisputably presented itself before me. Someone might sit beside you for a meal today and be missing in action tomorrow. A new soldier earning praise and honor today might disappear the next. The captain I fought with today might not be found tomorrow. The ground troops that exchanged encouragement with me today might be eliminated the next. At this point, I am wary of building personal connections with anyone here. Perhaps that person would perish, or I might perish, or we might both perish in the day to come. I thought I have experienced enough to feel numb, but bad news kept coming in waves, every single day. However, I don't regret this at all. Whenever the pain comes, the feeling that becoming a fighter pilot is the best choice I have made in my life will follow. If I weren't a fighter pilot, I can only endure this pain in silence, but I am one. I can fly, I can fight, and I can attempt to destroy the source of my pain. Since I'm a fighter pilot, I can still have things that I can do, realities that I can change. P.S. Don't use the names Guanyang came up with, they're terrible. Choosing a name is a big decision the child has to bear for a lifetime. Use my suggestion instead. It's something I picked after diligently going through several collections worth of poetry. s2e, I have a lot to tell you. So many things. After your death, they wanted to honor me with a medal. Truthfully, I found that laughable. Based on common logic, no one would award survivors medals to praise their fortuitous survival, but no, not the Skyfaring Commission. They gave me a medal, called me a hero pilot, and the only reason for it is because of my luck to remain alive in that calamitous battle. If you had only been as lucky as me, we could have gotten the medals together. After the medal ceremony, we could have gone to Aurum Alley, have a few drinks, and laugh at the absurdity of it all. It's a shame. Luck is not on your side. We don't have that chance anymore. I suddenly feel nostalgic. I remembered all the time we had steering our starskiffs across the Luofu sky. We were so carefree. There were no threats to our lives, and we didn't have to bear the calling of the hunt. The entirety of the sky within the delve was ours, yours, and mine. Above us was the delve's flashing dome ceiling, and below us were the bustling lights of 10,000 homes. Oh, and behind us, the Realm-Keeping Commission officers who just wouldn't stop chasing us. That was a time of insouciance, and how I wish we could stay in that time forever.
What is the meaning of this? The Helm Master's daughter bringing Outworlders in to sneak around? What do you have in your hands? Let me see. Madame Yukong's diary? The nerve. How dare you read Madame Yukong's personal diary? And with her daughter, too. By the Arbiter, you two are in for a...
Mr. Yang Min, please, calm down. Let us explain.
Qingni tells Yan Ming the whole story.
I see. Qingni, I know Madame Yukong's position on you becoming a pilot is tough for you to accept, but she has her own concerns.
I understand, Mr. Yang Ming. But now, compared to becoming a fighter pilot, I'm more interested in knowing what my mom went through. I want to know what happened, how she went from ace pilot to Helm Master.
I've been here for a long time, Qingni. If there's something you wish to know, just ask. But don't go rummaging around. That's a bad habit.
Let's ask about the diary.
No, this isn't something I should read. Don't show it to me. Yes. This divine object, if I remember correctly, it's the one Madame Yukong always carries with her? I heard the war that forged this object was only won thanks to the Rainbow Arbiter's blessing. If Madame Yukong still carries objects from that pilot, then perhaps she still longs for the sky.
If Mom still longs for the sky, then why does she no longer fly?
Perhaps s2e19's passing was too much for her. You shouldn't be asking me about this. Ask your mother. Miss s2e19? I remember her. She was an ace gunner. Many people wanted to be her flight partner. Her husband, Mr. Guang Yuan, was a pilot. They manned the same skiff and were the envy of many. But when it came to pilots, your mother was the best match for her. They flew together all the time. Even Mr. Guanyan couldn't match their numbers. Well, after he passed away in battle, s2e19 rarely teamed up with anyone except your mother. It was tragic when s2e19 died soon after. That's the life of a pilot. No one knows which flight will be their last. s2e19's death was a big blow to Madame Yukong. After the battle, she refused to turn in s2e19's possessions as per regulations. She kept them locked away, occasionally taking them out to admire.
I didn't think you'd know this many details, Mr. Yan Ming.
Nonsense. As a Xianzhou native, I've lived long enough to remember more than the Foxian pilots could ever hope to. In the end, all the ace pilots perished. The only thing I can do is to remember them and ensure they are not forgotten too soon.
Where are Miss Tsai's possessions stored? Thanks for telling us all this, Mr. Yang Ming.
You're welcome. I know this is important to you. I suppose you're going to go through Madame Yukong's office desk next. I can understand your position, Qingmei. I'll take my leave and pretend I didn't see anything. After all, it's an unwritten rule that subordinates should be absent when their superior's privacy is exposed. Please don't tell your mother that you saw me today.
Got it.
Thank you, Mr. Yanming.
Hurry. Madame Yukong will be back soon.
Like subtle. I think that you should do this, but I'm going to turn my back while you do it. Pick up the new Londinium freight check report.
My mom keeps lots of stuff in her desk. Let's have a look.
This desk has space to put stuff? There must be a hidden compartment. Is this some special Xianzhou technology?
That's the selling point of this desk. Super simplistic design with super spacious hidden compartments. Lots of office staff use this desk. There are hidden compartments on the left, right, and under the desktop. Which one should we check first?
Alright, let's go left first.
Paper kite, personal letters, and a copy of Otherworldly Delights? So Mom likes these kinds of novels? Huh. I thought she'd prefer more heroic stuff. But what we're looking for isn't here. There are hidden compartments on the left, right. There's some exhibition material, not sure if it's relevant. This is the Fallen Heroes archive. Mom stored them right next to her. Every time our pilots returned from the battlefield, my mother would tell me never to forget the cost of victory. But what we're looking for isn't here. There are hidden compartments on the left. Got it.
It's nice to know when you go from the top down, they make the correct answer at the bottom, so that if you just do it in a methodical fashion, you see all the answers.
This looks similar to Mom's diary, but it looks like it belonged to Miss Tsai.
Yukong, I'm happy to have a chance to fight side by side with you. When the pair assignment was sent out, I was so nervous that I didn't dare open and check it, fearing that we wouldn't be paired up. It's not like I can't bear to part with you, but I was worried to leave you with the others with your fiery temperament. When you actually get to the battlefield, don't act recklessly like you do now, always charging in with hot-headedness. Before taking action, think more about the consequences. But it's okay, I don't want to talk about this anymore, or you'll accuse me of nagging like an old crone again. In any case, we need to work together, using our individual strengths to create our own legends in the vast sky. I look forward to fighting in the vast skies with you, so much so that I'm finding it hard to fall asleep. Yukong, don't cry. There's no need to be sad. My husband was the one who died, but you're crying more than I am. After so many years of fighting, you're still so emotional. I'm envious. Being a fighter pilot has always been a harrowing decision. Since we chose this path, we have to be mentally prepared. What's important is not whether we can survive by luck, but whether we can live up to the value of a pilot's life. Guangyan and his partner managed to keep an entire Borisan fleet at bay. They were heroes. To me, that is enough. I've heard it said that the greatest happiness in life is being able to choose how you die. From this perspective, to fight for the Xianzhou Alliance, no, for the people of the entire cosmos, to die on the battlefield after a lifetime of military service, Guangyan is probably happy. Of course, you better not have this kind of happiness. Just live another 200 years, behave, and then die of old age for me. Yukong, it's been a long time. I'm still on my maternity leave in the rear. Everything is fine. With the stalemate happening right now, you must be very busy, but when you have the chance, please take a moment to write an exchange diary entry for me so that I may know you're still safe. And also, I have a mountain of things I want to talk to you about. Firstly, an announcement. I've already decided on a name for our child. Guangyan has talked about this before. If it's a boy, name him Dragon. If it's a girl, name her Phoenix. But this man's literary sense is as good as the monkeys in the Everhunt Plains. No matter how much we should prioritize the wishes of my late husband, I cannot let his wants ruin my child's life. So, after much pondering, I've decided to go with your suggestion and name her Qingni, the colors of dawn. The moonlit camp offers to a garden of archery, frosty banners brush the colors of dawn. How rare you made the time and effort to look through poems and allegories. I thought you only cared about fighter jets. Don't miss me too much. After taking a few months of break and settling Qingni down, I'll be back in action ASAP. Qingni is still so young, and I need to leave her to fight a war. How should I say this? I'm such an irresponsible mother. I am well aware. The situation on the front line doesn't look so good. The Borisin keeps breaking our ranks. All the media outlets are trying to control the spread of panic and fear, but the Luofu is shrouded with a veil of uneasiness. However, I believe the Xianzhou Alliance will win. I believe that warriors like you and me will repel those denizens of abundance to whence they came. I look forward to fighting beside you once more. Yukong, we will be heading towards the cruel battlefield tomorrow, so tonight there are some things I must entrust to you. This may be somewhat ominous, but there's no help for it. Who made it so that we've never entrusted these things to each other before? If you lived and I didn't, please take care of Qingni like you would your own daughter. I know you will. I will entrust you with all my savings. Please use that as living expenses for Qingni. No matter what kind of person Qingni wants to become, please support her fully. Merchant, poet, street performer, anything except a fighter pilot. Please allow me to make a vow with you. Do not let Qingni become a fighter pilot. When we enlisted, you wrote in this diary, our fighter jets would be hung in space by their lonesome selves, like ships sailing in the middle of the ocean. Some may call this feeling lonely, but I prefer to call it freedom. I really loved this segment because I thought the same. But that's enough. Loneliness or freedom, we've already tasted it all. Promise me, don't let that child touch the sky.
So, I was adopted? And this Miss s2e was my real mother? I suppose I've always had a feeling. But now I know the truth. I feel like I'm dreaming. Don't let that child touch the sky. Is this why Mom refuses to let me become a fighter pilot?
She doesn't want to lose s2e again.
For a pilot, the most important oath before departure is the promise to bring your comrade back. Mom didn't manage to bring her comrade back. So she vowed to prevent me from setting out. Not only am I her daughter, I'm also her final promise to s2e. I never thought my dream would put Mom in such a difficult situation. I feel a lot closer to Mom after reading this diary. Even if we're not connected by blood. I understand her a lot more now. Can you come with me one more time? I want to have a proper chat with Mom.
No problem. Let's see this through.
Yes. Thank you.
Hello, Welt.
You're all done? Did it go smoothly?
You tell Welt everything that just happened.
I see. Let's find Helmmaster Yukong. We'll accompany you. We're here to help, but he and I really shouldn't interject when you're conversing with your mother.
It's okay. I understand. Just having you stand next to me is already a great help, benefactors.
Let's go talk to Yukong.
When Mom feels down, she usually goes to take in a view of the Jade Gate. She should still be there. Let's go find her.
Skipping child. Hello, Yukong.
Mom?
Qingni, why are Mr. Yang and they here too?
Because we need to be here to witness the end of the quest.
Miss Qingni kindly agreed to show us around Starskiff Haven. She mentioned she was trying to mend things between you, but was feeling shy about it. We volunteered to come with her.
Thank you. I must apologize for the trouble my daughter has brought you.
Mom!
All right, it's getting late. Let's talk once we're home.
Actually, I want to talk to you about something right now. I want to become a fighter pilot, no matter what.
We've talked about this many times. No means no.
Seems like Miss Qingni is a little hesitant. Try giving her a little push.
I thought Mr. Yang said we shouldn't interject. What should I say?
Is that s2e19's diary? How did you... I understand now. I'm sorry, Qingni. I cannot support your dream because I made a promise to someone else. I don't expect to gain your forgiveness. I just hope you can understand my reason.
Mom, what are you talking about? I'm your daughter. Our bond is bigger than forgiveness and reason. I'll listen to anything you have to say.
Just like you, I once longed for the sky. I know what it feels like to fly through infinite space, to be surrounded by the vast expanse of nothingness, with unimaginable splendors looming in the distance, to float like a single leaf in the fathomless stellar sea. Some called it loneliness, but we called it freedom. s2e was like that too. We're friends since childhood. We flew starskiffs everywhere, causing trouble until the knights caught us and dragged us before General Jingyuan. We soon became the most elite fighter pilots of the Skyfaring Commission. It wasn't an easy life. You could even say it was a cruel one. You never knew if the friend next to you would make it back alive. Of course, the same could be said of yourself. But those are my best memories. We would strike out into the sky, repelling demons and upholding justice. The blood we shed bore witness to it all. The life of a Foxian is short and fleeting. Surely we should dedicate ourselves to such glorious aims. System space all clear today. Great weather for flying.
We're engaging the main Borisan fleet this time. Don't get too excited.
Huh? Sounds like maternity leave knocked the wind out of your sails. Feeling rusty?
Oh, shut it. I think you're just excited because you haven't flown with me for so long. Did you miss me?
Of course I missed you. The galaxy felt smaller without you in my cockpit. Say, s2e, really didn't think you'd come back. Do you really like flying star skiffs that much?
You bet. Sure, it's exhausting, dangerous, low paid. Plus, you only get back to the Luofu a few times a year. But given the choice, I'd always pick this. I guess I already touched the sky.
The mind is mysterious. I've lived for more than 200 years. Forgotten nearly every conversation I've ever had. But I still remember us shooting the breeze that day. It's crystal clear. It was the last time I spoke to s2e. s2e? Hold on, s2e. s2e, open your eyes. s2e.
Thank you, Yukong. I've had a good life. But please, don't let Jingmi walk the same path. Don't let her become a fighter pilot.
s2e, she's your daughter. You'll be able to tell her yourself, do you hear? Rescue's almost here. Stay with me. Jingni is waiting for you. She lost Guangyan. She can't afford to lose you too. Wake up! s2e! 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 When I climbed out of the burning carcass of the star skiff, I looked up into a clear sky. Pure and seemingly unadorned by the atmosphere that arced far above us. It was the most beautiful sky I had ever seen. But all I could feel was unbearable pain. I sunk to my dream. That was the day I died.
Mom, this is the first time I've heard you talk about this. But I'm not a little girl anymore. The road of a fighter pilot is a cruel one. I know that now. But I won't hide from it. I'm not afraid to walk the same road as her. If my sacrifice can bring happiness to the citizens of the Xianzhou, then I'm ready for it.
You are so very similar to s2e. The more outstanding you became over the years, the more fearful I turned. I've known for a long time you were ready, but I was not. You know, the cruelty has never claimed victory. Me, s2e, your father Guangyan. We were prepared for the worst when we enlisted. But do you know how we won that war? The war that took away s2e and the lives of hundreds of thousands of fighters.
The Rainbow Arbiter's divine arrow.
Yes. The mighty blessing of the Rainbow Arbiter annihilated all abominations in a single strike. We had to pay with the blood of hundreds of thousands of soldiers just to halt their advance. If crushing our enemies was as easy as breathing for the Rainbow Arbiter, then what purpose did our sacrifices serve? Under the might of an eon, the sacrifices of ordinary creatures are but a joke. We are nothing. We mean nothing.
Mom.
But I never should have allowed my fears to compel me to make decisions for another person. Even if that person is my daughter, I brazenly interfered with your choices. I am sorry. That is my failure as a mother.
Mom, you don't need to apologize. Really, you don't need to.
I'll take you to fill in the paperwork tomorrow. You'll start as ground crew, just like s2e and I did. I believe that one day, you'll make an outstanding fighter pilot.
Huh? Really? Thank you, Mom. Thank you. Thank you.
I was afraid of you following in my footsteps, and more afraid of you taking after s2e. But if this is your choice, then I'm willing to support you, even if you live to regret it.
Mom, I have one last request.
Tell me.
I want to fly with you at least once.
I'm afraid I can't. I won't be flying anymore.
But why?
Because I already touched the sky.
Just going to take a moment to recover from that. Qingni stands beside her mother, and quietly gazes at the place that fills her with so much passion. Yukong gazes quietly at the place that once filled her with so much passion and cost her everything. Let's not disturb them. Okay, I'm kind of speechless after that. Like, I knew the story because I've done it before, but it's affecting, and like I said before, like one of the things that these games can do that a lot of just other video games can't do is just give you this side story that's just this like very touching piece of humanity, and why we feel driven to give ourselves to something that is more than just us, whether it is because we seek the exhilaration of flying, or because we feel duty bound or whatever, and then the cost of those decisions and trying to protect those we love from paying a similar cost. But ultimately everybody has to be responsible for their own lives, and everyone has to make their own decisions. And on that note, with the gate behind us, the Jade Gate behind us, and the star skiffs flying out of the Xianzhou Luofu, and people walking across camera in front of us. I might move the camera a little bit closer. I'm going to say thank you for joining me on what was quite a long episode. And we have one significant quest, as far as I can tell, left in the Xianzhou Luofu. It's going to follow the final, at least in this chapter, fate of Jing Liu, and revisit the story of the High Cloud Quintet. And I hope you join me for that one as well. And until then, thank you very much for spending your time with me. Have a nice one.